Coming up, I obtained full netherite tools and armor. Made a farm to collect infinite carrots and sugarcane. And fought the Wither boss. But before we do any of that fun stuff, we need to do some work on the village. First of all, I think that a mine shaft would look great in this little area. So let's get right into the build. First off, we'll be collecting some materials, including the different stones, and putting them into the stone cutter to get our stairs. We'll also venture to the nearby cave, through all the madness, and grab some andesite. Heading back to base, I will be bone milling some spruce sapling to get some spruce wood. And with the final thing crafted, we now have everything that we need for our mine shaft. So without further ado, let's get right into the build. First, we'll be placing some upside down stairs with spruce logs on top and spruce stairs on top of them. And on the other side, we'll be placing upside down spruce stairs and spruce stairs on top of those. And with these two, we have this cool little design, so let's just repeat it on the other side. And with the other side completed, we can now make the roof with these 4 stairs and this 1 trapdoor. We could add these trapdoors to the back and open them. And on the inside, we could dig out room for a stairwell and make a little gradient wall. And with these lanterns placed, we can move on outside and place some decorative barrels, chests, and lanterns, and connect it all up to the pathway. And just like that, the mine shaft is complete. With the mine shaft build complete, we can grab all of our gunpowder and all of our sand and craft it into TNT. But as you could tell, this is nowhere near how much we need to obtain full netherite tools and armor. So first off, let's fly over to our beach. And there's never been a greater time to have an epic sand mining montage. With the sand gathered, we can now head over to our creeper farm, where we'll be AFKing for some gunpowder. After about 15 minutes, we can head down to the chest to see how much gunpowder we got. Wow! As you could tell, this farm works like a charm. Heading back to base, we can now turn our gunpowder and sand that we just acquired into TNT. This should be enough to help us achieve full netherite armor and tools. If you remember from the last episode, I connected my base portal with the portal to the nether roof, so now I need to make another one. And I think the perfect spot for it will be in the poppy field. And by placing a few blocks of obsidian and lighting it with a flint and steel, we could hop through the portal, which now brings us to the nether floor. And now we can dig a tunnel down to y equals 15. And there we could dig really long tunnels for our TNT. Every once in a while, running into some patches of lava. But with quick reactions, you could easily just block them up. However, if you hit a massive patch of lava, then you will just want to block up the end of the tunnel and just place your TNT down. I recommend placing TNT every other block. Once I hit the end of the tunnel, I light the TNT and let it explode. It doesn't always explode down at the end of the tunnel, so you have to go down and relight it, patching up the lava pools and collecting your ancient debris. Make sure to also dig all existing blocks around the ancient debris in case there's more hidden in the walls like this one. Also, there's only a maximum of 1 vein of netherite per chunk, so if you make your TNT tunnels along a chunk border, you will be more likely to find more ancient debris. With the last of my TNT placed, we can just watch it explode. And we could run through and collect our ancient debris that was exposed. Heading back up to the nether portal and making my way back to base, we could see that we obtained a total of 20 ancient debris. This will obviously not be enough for full netherite armor and tools, so if we go back to the beach, we can have another epic sand mining montage. Using our newly collected sand, we can now craft up a little bit more TNT. And if I head back into the nether and back down to the tunnel system, we can dig out another tunnel, place the TNT down, and light it. We got pretty unlucky with a big wall of lava right away. However, on the other side, we had a lot of big patches of netherite. And with these final blocks of ancient debris collected, we can now head back through the nether portal and back to base, where we can now smelt up all of our ancient debris. Now we can grab our gold from the chest and head over and craft up our netherite ingots. If we now remove all of my armor, we can now upgrade it to netherite status. However, I forgot that I now needed the netherite upgrade token, so for right now, let's just put the netherite ingots back in the chest. Next up, I like to start working on this overpowered sugarcane farm, which was designed by Tango Tech. I will leave the link to his full tutorial video in the description of this video below. I will also leave the link in the description to the Lightmatica schematic. I will also be using it to simplify this very complex and compound build. I will just click here to load it up, and as you can see, it is a massive build. I would like it to be over there in that region, in my farming area. And if we open up the materials list, we can see that there are a lot of materials that need collected. Let's grab my shulker boxes and get right into the material collection. Pretty ironic, but I need a ton of sugarcane for my sugarcane farm. And as you could tell, I have nowhere near that much. While down in the mines gathering some redstone, I stumbled across an amethyst geode, where I used my silk touch pickaxe to obtain the amethyst clusters and also some amethyst blocks that I will, without a doubt, use in the future for builds. Back up at base, I collected the final necessary materials. However, I still have the issue of not enough sugarcane, so I'll plant down the sugarcane that we have so far. In the meantime, while that sugarcane is growing, I'm going to work on another farm, the Infinite Carrot Farm, designed by Shulkercraft. But first, we need to collect a few materials. With the final materials collected, we can now make our way over to the building area. And without further ado, get straight into the building montage. Now with the building part complete, we now need to move our villagers over to the farm to actually make it work. I will be using minecart rails since it's the easiest method of transportation for villagers. And we could just simply click this button and send the villagers over. However, I don't recommend doing this at night, because sometimes zombies will get to your villagers and turn them into zombie villagers. And with the final most important villager in place, we could break his minecart and place spruce fence gates around him so that he can't get away. Then if we dig a tunnel underneath, we could place down hoppers that link to the hoppers above and that funnel into a chest for a collection system. And with a place in the lantern, the farm is now complete. This is just an aerial shot that I gathered using my FreeCam mod. Just like the sugarcane farm, I'll have the link to the video for this tutorial by Sulkercraft in the description of this video. I'll be leaving this minecart track here just in case I need it for any future farms. But for right now, let's just gather our sugarcane, replant it down so that it can continue to multiply. We can also gather the sugarcane that's been collected in my little farm that's inside my base. I was scrolling around on YouTube and I just saw this cool cart design that I'd like to use for the village. I think it'd add a great touch, and it's pretty simple. All of the materials were already in my chest, so I didn't have to do any extra collecting. And they just offered that extra touch of busyness to the village. So we just decided to dot a few of them around the village. And with the final one complete, I decided to make a little well on the other side by the houses, and watch how I definitely don't struggle to get the orientation of this final stair. And by placing some water, some fences, and some stairs on top, the well is now complete. But when I look from the distance, it looks a little funky, so I have to change the orientation of this stair. And after correcting the orientation of that stair, the well is now complete. I also built this little swing set that I thought would look perfect for this area. I also changed the path so that it looked a little bit more for the vibe instead of that stone and fancy look. I also added a few bushes around, just to give it that extra touch of nature. In total, I think that this area turned out very nice. It fits perfectly in with the natural little valley that was here. And for the extra outdoorsy feel, I added in a picnic table. I think it adds that extra touch that this little area here just needs. And with the final details down, all this area needs is a little canopy. So for that, I'll have to go out and shear some sheep. Try saying that 10 times fast. Shear some sheep. I also replaced the apple with the pumpkin pie. I think it just looks a little bit better. And we could place down our umbrella. I also need string to hold up those carpets, because they just aren't able to float in midair. And with the final carpet placed, the picnic area is complete. I'm just so proud of this village and how it's came along. I really like that extra area that I put over there, and this is definitely the best and the biggest build I've ever done, so I'm glad I'm able to show it to everyone, and I'm glad that you guys appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think I should do next in the village. But for right now, let's start on the market center. First, we'll be making this little pathway through, just as a kind of a guideline of where we want the market area to spread. And now let's get right into building the market stalls. First one I'm going with is the librarian stall. I will always have all the links to all the videos that I used in the description of my videos. If I ever don't have a link to the video in the description, let me know in the comment section below. I will update the description and send it directly to you. But for right now, we are crafting the final book and quills to add to the librarian section. Now we just need a villager. However, I just forgot that he'd just be able to walk right out, so after I broke the minecart, that's exactly what he did. So, that night, I grabbed some string and just placed it around the border of the stall, just in case he would try to escape again. At first, I thought I had him locked in, just because he was just standing there. Then he linked to the lectern, and I tried to trade with him, and he just walked right out. I feel like Mojang just added villagers in the game, just to be a complication, yet they are very useful resources. They just find ways to be annoying, just like running away in certain situations where you want them to stay. Or a situation just like the present, where it won't move when you want him to move. I also built an apple cart, just in this little small space that I had available. I was flying out to a coral reef, and I just saw this guy. I was wondering how he got out so far. This polar bear wasn't too happy with me either, so I just kept moving. I also found a jungle with a lot of bamboo, and I also gathered some jungle wood for future builds. And on my way through a mesa, I found this little guy. I thought that he would just jump in his shell, but he was pretty chill. Maybe I should bring him home one day. And with a few more minutes of flying, I found myself a coral reef. Here I gathered some sea pickles and some other coral blocks that I'll need in the future. In the nearby desert, I got some cactus because I hadn't been to one yet. Then I just headed back home, and on my way, I found this jungle temple. There's some pretty cool things inside these. I was hoping to get an armor trim or two just to add to my collection. I was also careful of all of the traps. And in this chest, there were some armor trims, just like I was hoping. And around the front, I went to the little game that they have set up, but I don't remember the password, so I just broke right through. Heading home, I gathered the sugar cane once I had returned. We have a decent amount now, but it's nowhere near what we need. For now, I like to enchant my bow with power 5. I only have one enchanting table, so I'll take it to the gold farm where all my levels are. I just craft up a new bow and send it through the enchanting table. I get nothing on the first time. Second time, I get exactly what I want. And if you haven't guessed already from the wither skeleton skulls in my inventory and me upgrading my bow, I am prepping for the wither fight. And if we go to the nether, we can grab the necessary soul sand. The only thing I need now is a good night's sleep for the big battle tomorrow morning. I think that there's no better area than the little field on the other side of the farming district. So if we place down the soul sand and the wither skeleton heads on top and throw on the chest plate for extra protection, we are ready to spawn him in. I won't do that much commentary on this section, just so you guys can enjoy the boss fight. And with the wither down, we can head back to our base, grab the necessary materials for a beacon, and we can craft one ourselves. I think that this is one of the best looking blocks in the game, but that's just my opinion. Comment your favorite block in the comment section below. And if we head over to this chest, you can see that we have plenty of gold blocks for this. So let's just get them placed down. And with that done, we can place a beacon on top. You see, it gives us the full power. And if we place an iron ingot inside and select haste 2, we can mine at God speed. This is so satisfying. Back up at the surface, I built a few more villager stalls, one being a fisherman's stall. And with some technical fishing, we can make this little area that has water and fish in it. Smells a little fishy over here. I'm sorry for you guys' ears, I'll shut up. Dad jokes aside, this fisherman station needs a villager, and unlike the librarian station, this station allows the villager to not escape through any crevices. Along with the fisherman station, I built the toolsmith and weaponsmith station. This section also needs villagers, however they will stay in minecarts because they will easily be able to escape. They will soon link to their workstations, but for right now, they're just being stubborn. I also constructed a farmer section and added 2 villagers into that as well. I'm just going to rattle off a few of the sections that I built real quick, including a stonemason section, an archery section, a shepherd section, with a little section for sheep. This is a reenactment. I was just building a little cartography area during a lightning storm, and lightning happened to strike some of my villagers. I didn't know it at first, but they were turned to witches, and I killed them, and then I realized that I wasn't recording. But I started recording before I collected the drops that they dropped from behind their lecterns. Moving on, I placed down an armor smith and a toolsmith, and a cartographer and another shepherd station. Now it's time to do something I've wanted to do almost this entire episode. It involves this netherite that I have stored up in this chest. We have the netherite, but for right now, there's nothing I can do with it. So let's change that. It's now time to conquer the bastion and claim my netherite upgrade token. So now if we head through the nether, I've already previously spotted this bastion that I wanted to loot, and I was looking for my nether fortress. So I just shoot all these guys from a distance because they will two-shot me. And I am not trying to get in a mix with a bunch of those big guys. I dig myself a hole in the roof so I can make it rain on some of the guys that are in there as well. I also make my way in, and it's just like shooting fish in a barrel. I collect my free gold blocks that were just sitting there just for me. The last thing to do is just to pick off all the piglins and the piglin brutes. With the brutes all dealt with, we can make our way down, dealing with this guy on the way. And we could just do some pretty simple parkour. And deal with these pretty squishy guys pretty easy. Destroy their spawner. And just make this big guy back up. He's just jealous. And now, we could claim our smithing template. We could also get an extra netherite ingot, and another armor trim, and a few extra gold blocks. And now we could claim the piglin's hard-earned gold. Now we could just do some easy parkour to get out. And we could also just loot this chest with a shovel. And we could use those holes that we dug earlier to make our way out. And over on the other tower, there's also a chest waiting for me. With a few goodies. Now after I make my way back to the portal, I'll go back to my base, grab those netherite ingots that we have, and some diamonds. Grab the smithing upgrade template. And we could craft them. If you guys didn't know, you could actually duplicate these. So all you need is one. Then you can just use some diamonds and some netherrack and the smithing templates themselves. And you could duplicate them just like this. I'm actually going to craft one extra, just so I don't have to go search for one in the future. And now we could finally take this crusty old diamond armor off and upgrade it to netherite finally. Starting with the helmet, and the chest plate, and the leggings, and the boots. And that gives us full netherite armor. I'm so happy with this. I think it looks awesome, especially with the enchants effect. Now, time to enchant the tools. Starting first with the sword, and the axe, and the pickaxe, and the shovel. And if we grab our Fortune 3 pickaxe, we could also enchant that. And that gives us full netherite armor and tools. If you guys are enjoying the content, please make sure to like and subscribe on the video. It lets me know what kind of content you guys like. And in the comment section below, let me know your favorite video so I can make more like it. But for right now, we have to start construction on the sugarcane farm. We have enough sugarcane just to get started, so let's head over, load up the schematic, and place it down. We have to orient it just so that it's where we want it to be. Again, I will leave the link to the full tutorial and the schematic link in the description below. Without further ado, let's get straight into the build. I must have forgotten to craft the pistons, so I went back to my base and crafted some. I might have ran out of pistons again, so I went back home and crafted some more. I also turned those villagers that got zapped by lightning into clerics, so I can just get redstone for them, just to finish off this build. And just like that, the sugarcane farm is complete. If you guys would like me to add more layers, I can. As you can tell, it's already an insanely quick farm, so let's give it a 1 hour AFK test and see how strong it really is. So now if we break out of our AFK box and go over to the chest, we'd see that there's about a half a double chest in about 1 hour. This farm is very easily expandable. I left the top open just in case I wanted to add more. Also, when I was in the area, I also got a ton of carrots from the carrot farm that I built earlier in the video. That will be all for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and if you have made it this far, comment Beacon in the comment section below. Enjoy the closing montage and have a wonderful rest of your day.